What we're looking at here is my Model 64 Smith & Wesson standard 4-inch barrel 38 pouch here with 2 speed loaders in it, and of all things, a Bible case. When need for this came up many years ago, I was living in Jacksonville in an apartment complex, and Jacksonville was one of those places where it's not a good idea to leave a gun in your truck all the time. So, because I was living in an apartment complex, my neighbors got concerned when they'd see me walk out, go to work, put my pistol in the glove box. Then when I'd come home, get it out the glove box and walk back to my apartment with it. Nothing illegal about doing that. However, some of the neighbors complained to the apartment complex's management, and they talked to me and asked me to be a little more discreet carrying my gun to and from the truck. Well, to accommodate my neighbors, I started carrying a gun in a Bible case. And apparently everybody was happy. And this is just a standard Bible case. You can get it at any bookstore or just about anywhere. This one's two-sided. On the front side has the gun and the spare speed loaders. And in the second compartment, I have a little MTM ammo wallet. It's got a dozen other shells with it, 6 hollow points, and 6 snake shot. The advantage of a setup like this is if you're not going to keep your gun on you due to circumstances or convenience, whatever, you can have all your equipment together, your gun, spare ammunition, whatever else you want to put in the bag with it, and it's unobtrusive, and I don't know anybody that's really offended by me carrying what appears to be a Bible case. The fact that there's a gun in it, well, they don't know that. This works well coming in and out of motels where I may be carrying a second gun, and it's generally larger than the gun I'm carrying concealed on me. So, provides a good option. Another advantage, or another scenario where this might be useful, got a friend of mine and still working in law enforcement, travels with a youth group, summer camps, stuff like that. Because he is still sworn law enforcement, regardless of whatever camp or group or wherever they go, nobody can tell him he cannot carry his gun with him. However, in the interest of keeping the peace, a setup like this might serve fairly well, particularly if you're using it to carry, say, a full-size gun that may be your service weapon. Another variation on this concept if you'll bear with me a second. This is an old money bag. I acquired somewhere. This was a method my grandfather used quite a bit. The drawback to this is it's a money bag. It's usually used for transporting cash and other negotiables. But again, meets the concept. In this case, I've got my Model 36 in it, which is still probably one of my most often carried guns. 2 speed loaders and a couple more extra rounds in there. This was, again, a method my grandpa liked. This was small enough you could put it under the seat of the car or the truck. It wouldn't be in the way. Kept all your stuff together. If you were traveling with somebody else in somebody else's car, you could put it in your suitcase, or put it in your suitcase and overnight bag. Wouldn't bother anybody with it. Third variation. This was apparently some little bag I had gotten from Radio Shack with some kind of electronics doodads in it. And it's been repurposed for carrying another J-frame 38. And the extra speed loaders are here too. Some people would argue should I even be carrying something like this J-frame? Well, number one, it beats the hell out of throwing rocks at somebody when I need it. And number two, if I'm carrying it as a standalone or a backup, I've shot them enough and I'm proficient enough with them where I deem they're adequate. Particularly if it's something I have with me when I need it, and my bigger 45 is at the house or someplace where I can't get to it. But these are options that keep your equipment together, keep your gun stuff together when you're traveling. They're also, because they're all in cases, they meet the requirements under Florida law for having it not immediately accessible if you're transporting it in a vehicle, because you have to remove it from the bag. Florida Statute 790 covers that. Florida Statute 776 governs your use of force. This is just to look at some of the options that I use for transporting and carrying a gun, maintaining a low profile. In most cases, keeping a low profile is what I want to do. Very seldom do I want to, be seen carrying the gun out in the open or make some display of it. Most of the time I like to keep a low profile, stay as, I guess the tactical term is the gray man, not draw attention to myself. But all these methods will work. They keep things together, they keep things in a low profile, and depending on what your circumstances are, they're very effective. in transporting your gun. I don't usually prefer off-body carry. However, I may, as I've said before, be using this to transport a second gun, maybe a third gun, or it may be one of those circumstances where me carrying a gun on me is not practical or allowable. These are some options to look at. Later on,